But one of the things that we want to talk about here today is focusing not on goals, but actually focusing on outcomes. And it's important for us as leaders, potential leaders, and that kind of idea, even if you're not the chief of the organization today, as we are thinking about our sphere of influence, how do we move our organization, our profession, and those kinds of things from a status quo to a positive trajectory forward. And it's very, very important that we understand that when we set goals, I mean, folks, we're right in the first week of January, actually the second week of January or February now. We'll get the calendar right here in just a minute. But the idea is that when we think about this, we have to understand that most of us have this habit of every January of setting some kind of a New Year's resolution, call it a goal. But the reality is, especially for those of us that set a goal to work out more, watch what we eat, lose some weight, all the common things that we hear about people setting goals for as a New Year's resolution, usually about this time, they're already given up on, and we don't achieve what we set out to go and do. So when we think about this, what we really want to think about is we want to think about outcomes and how things are going to move forward and what do we hope to achieve. Not a goal, not some proverbial idea, but what do we actually hope to be able to achieve? The idea here is that at the end of the day, we'll be able to go back after we've achieved that goal and be able to say, one of the things that we really wanted to focus on was trying to benefit Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And it doesn't matter if you're a police department, fire department, EMS agency, if you're in public safety, our most important thing ever is the delivery of service to Mr. and Mrs. Smith when they need us to help them. And everything that we focus on should be based upon that service delivery. And if we can set up goals that at the end of the day are going to benefit Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and we can set specific expected outcomes on how we're going to achieve that, at the end of the day, Mr. and Mrs. Smith wins. And when Mr. and Mrs. Smith wins, we win, and the community wins.